And welcome to Gizzy's Reads, another episode where the rhythm is real, the poetry is personal. I'm your host, Gizzy, sharing my journey one verse at a time. Each episode, I read original poems straight from the heart, some raw, some reflective, all authentically me. Whether you're here to heal, feel, or just vibe, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. This episode, we're going to slow down a little bit and dive into four of my poems, each one a different shade of emotion. Together, we'll explore mistakes, happiness, closure, and the courage to own our own future. First one we have is We're All the Same. We all make mistakes. Owning up to them is key. Acknowledge you're wrong. You're never too blind to see. I've made my mistakes. I live with them daily. The mistakes I've made are the decisions that made me. Living with my guilt, caused by my lies, lying awake at night, seeing through bloodshot eyes. Thoughts running through my brain, worried I'll always feel crappy. I turn to my right, there lay the reason for my happy. I'll do right by her. If it costs me my life, I can't wait for the day that I make her my wife. Our lives are complete, at least until we add more. One boy, one girl, then maybe we'll have about 3 more. We argue, we fight. My past is mostly to blame. My heart is too fragile to play these mind games. We've all made mistakes. I've owned up to mine. Trust me, it hurts, but in the end, you'll be just fine. This piece reminds us that none of us are perfect. We all stumble, but it's how we stand back up that defines us. Owning our mistakes also takes courage. It's not about shame, it's about growth. When you can look at your past and say, yeah, I did wrong, I messed up, but I'm trying to do better. That is real maturity. This poem is also a mirror. It shows how love and accountability can coexist. When you have someone who believes in you even after you've fallen, you learn that forgiveness and commitment can heal old scars. Poem number 2, this one's called I'm Finally Happy. I laugh at my past. Why? Because it was never worth the stress. I smile at the present. Why? Because I'm finally happy. I wait for the future. Why? Because my wife will be there with me. The thought that I wasted so much time, so much money, and so much of my sanity on people who were never worth it makes me realize just how much I was alone and how much I was used. I'm not sorry for my actions, and I never will be. But I'm finally happy with a woman who is happy with me. I look to the future with her and only her. My past is forgotten because it's just not worth remembering. This poem is like a deep exhale after a long fight with your own heart. It's about finally stepping into a season where peace feels normal. You know, that healthy space. Happiness isn't about perfection. It's about choosing to focus on what's real and what's yours. Sometimes you have to walk through loneliness to recognize love when it finally arrives. This poem celebrates the moment when you stop looking back, stop explaining yourself, And simply put, just start living. The third poem we have, it's called Access Denied. The access you have is limited. Enjoy it while it lasts. I can easily block off contact or leave you in the past. Take your thoughts, take your considerations, spread them out to all the nations. Decisions were made, feelings were never mentioned. I know I'm not innocent. I never brought it to your attention. I carved my way through life. I started a family with my puppy and wife. I'm not mad, not the least bit salty. It's not my head or my heart that's faulty. I found my happiness in the things I do. I continue to pray that you find yours too. This letter, this note, this short burst of feeling, you're showing the world that I have finished healing. The hurt is gone, the pain has subsided. Your access to me will soon be decided. This particular piece is about boundaries, about understanding that peace has a price, and it's often distance. Sad but true. Setting boundaries doesn't make you cold, it makes you self-aware. Access denied is a moment of release, not revenge. It's choosing your mental health over emotional chaos. When you reach a point where you don't need closure from others because you've already given it to yourself, that right there is growth. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away quietly. Sad but true. Our fourth and final poem for this episode is called Your Future, Not Theirs. I know what mistakes are. I know what success is. I know what the end is going to look like for me. I see the future. I've learned from my past. I know what my choices will be. I will never be a renowned writer. I will never make millions from my poetry. I'll continue to write as my heart desires. You have to make your own way, even if you have to turn around a few times. The path will always be in front of you, as long as you don't extinguish the fires. Create a business, write a book, be a YouTube star or an Instagram model. The choice is yours to make on your own. Be an athlete, be an artist, be whatever you want to be. If they can't support you, they can leave you alone. Try the tears or cry a bit harder. The struggles, they do exist. Take the pen, write them down. Add them to the list. Strive to be what you want to be and be the very best you can. And if no one else supports you, be your own biggest fan. This poem is about believing in yourself even when no one else does. Anybody who follows me on social knows that I'm the biggest advocate it can be for, supporting yourself. I'm not saying that there aren't going to be supporters. I'm saying that if there aren't, do not give up on your dream. We live in a world that tells you what success should look like. But real success is actually doing what sets your soul on fire. People say that all the time. Do what makes you happy. Don't wait for permission to create your own dreams. Don't wait for applause to validate your worth. As long as you're moving forward, you're winning. This poem is a reminder that your story is yours alone. And the world is better when you tell it your way. These four poems move through accountability, joy, closure, and self-determination. They show what it means to sit inside your feelings, not just skim them. Because healing doesn't come from running away from pain. It comes from walking straight through it with your eyes open. We've all been the person lying awake at night, replaying mistakes, wondering if we'll ever stop feeling like we failed somebody. But here's the truth I've learned. You can't rewrite the past, but you can redefine what it means to you. Every scar becomes a story. Every regret becomes a reason to do better. And every heartbreak becomes a heartbeat for the next chapter. Happiness, forgiveness, peace, they don't just happen. You build them, brick by brick, day by day. Some days the bricks are heavy, and others they fall right into place. But every time you choose to show up, even when it's hard, you're laying another piece of the foundation. That's what life's about. Not perfection, not applause, just progress. Quiet, consistent progress. We're all the same. It reminds us that accountability is the real start of change. When we own our choices, we stop letting them own us. I'm finally happy is that peace you earn after surviving your storms, the kind that isn't loud or showy, just steady, calm, and real. It's that deep peace that everyone searches for constantly. Access denied. It taught me that boundaries are an act of love, not just for others, but for yourself. Because peace has a price, and it is definitely worth paying. Your future, not theirs. That one, that's the reminder that dreams don't expire. You don't need a crowd to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself loud enough that the silence can hear it. I constantly think about how far I've come as a person, partner, a father, a creator. And I realize healing isn't a destination. It's a rhythm. And I like that because I love music. All music. My list is ridiculous. But some days you're dancing to it, other days you're just trying to keep the beat, It's the same music you listened to yesterday, but it's just not hitting like it did yesterday. But either way, you're still moving. And if you're listening right now and you've been struggling to find your balance, I want you to take this moment and just breathe. Remember, you survived every version of yourself so far. And that's not by accident. You're still here because there's still more story to tell. Maybe you're not where you thought you'd be. Maybe you've lost people or lost yourself along the way. But Lord knows I have. But if you can still feel, if you can still hope, if you can still pick up a pen, you're already on your way back. Healing isn't about pretending it never hurt. It's about admitting it did and choosing to grow anyway. As this episode closes, I just want to leave you with a thought. Your emotions don't make you weak. They make you real. Being in your field is how you learn who you truly are. Beyond the mask, beyond the noise, beyond the expectations. Feel everything. The guilt, the laughter, the love, the loss. Let it all wash through you. Because the moment you allow yourself to feel fully, that's when you start to live fully. And when you live that way, grounded, grateful, honest, everything else begins to align. right, that is the end of our episode today. Thank you for listening to Gizzy's Reads. If today's poems spoke to you in any way, shape, or form, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with somebody who you think needs to hear the words. You can find me on all platforms, Gizzy Heals 89, everything except for Twitter. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, and always speak your truth. Peace out.